Hey you guys, Scoop Malaire here. Now today I'm coming to you guys with one more of those stories about some dumb little contest or thing that I won over the years. And this is so insignificant, but it was so cool when it happened. And in fact, it was so cool that I still have not worn this jacket that many times so that it could still stay new so that I'd be able to show it to you in this video today. So this must have happened, no kidding, more than 30 years ago now. It's kind of crazy to think it was that long ago, but I managed a shoe store. I was a rookie manager managing for Kinney Shoes back when Kinney Shoes was in business, and I was in a rough neighborhood. Pretty much it was a mall that I worked at when I was in high school, and it gradually kept going kind of downhill, downhill, downhill. It was in North Miami, the 163rd Street Shopping Center, and I loved this mall, and I couldn't believe that when I got promoted from assistant manager to manager, that my first store was the same store that I worked at when I was in high school. And the clientele was very different than most of our other stores. And we got this new brand of boots in called Frye. And they made mostly Western boots and a few different kinds of work boots. And they absolutely were not for our customer. And they were really pricey. They were $150, $180 boots. And at that time, that was expensive. But they were really trying hard to push this with our brand. So they had a big promotion where all the managers came to a meeting, and Frye, the company, and their reps bought us a meal, and they had a big contest where you could win this really cool leather jacket if you sold the most pairs of Frye shoes. And I was in about the 5th or 6th biggest volume store in our district of about 15 stores. So it wasn't that far-fetched that I should have been able to compete for it, except our customers weren't buying the Frye boots. It just wasn't our customer. But they also at the time were coming out with two different styles. One, they were called bucks, and these are almost like desert boots or old-time moccasin type of boot type of things, but they were really popular at the time. And the other thing they had were these moccasins that were almost like what Don Johnson with Crockett and Tubbs, what they were wearing on Miami Vice at the time. And what happened was those shoes, the bucks and the moccasins, were still a little pricey. They were $60 or $80, so I only sold them okay. But what I found was once they got marked down about $29, $35, people were buying them. And I actually sold through all of the ones we had in the store, and I was right around the middle of the pack in the company at the standings. And there weren't managers that were really talking much about the jacket. But then I realized once they marked those shoes down the next time, they marked them down to $14.99 and $19.99. And 3 or 4 days later, I started having customers coming in saying they saw them at other stores. How come we didn't have any left over here? So I had this idea, and I started calling the managers at other stores and suggesting, since our store had such a lower price clientele, I asked them if they had any marked down shoes in stock, particularly these two styles by Frye. And what I found out was that at their regular prices, these two styles didn't sell at all in most of the other stores throughout Dadeland and Westland and Hialeah and all the different areas in Miami and Broward County. They weren't selling, so they kept them in the stockroom, and a lot of times they didn't even realize they were marked down. So I offered to drive to their stores if they would transfer them to our store, and along the way they said, sure, if you want to take any of their markdowns, you can. And I actually started taking some of the sneakers that were marked down by the other brands and bringing them back as well. And what would happen was one manager would find out that I was interested in their markdowns, and they'd send me, this was before emails, but they would actually send either an inter-store mail that would go through daily, or they would call and ask if I was interested in picking up their markdowns as well. So I kept getting all these different Frye shoes, and I would put them right in the front of the store. Instead of having on the clearance in the back of the store, I pulled our clearance racks to the front, and it's almost like we were having a Frye sale on moccasins and on bucks, but it worked. And not only did I end up winning the Frye Jacket for selling the most pairs of Frye shoes, that was one of the things that really propelled me to be the manager of the year that year for Kinney Shoes. I was the rookie manager of the year, and that was a cool thing because that was given throughout the whole state. So, a couple of little things. Once again, I haven't won anything big or major, no huge money things in my life. But the cool thing I think about each one of these different times that I won something was that there's always a backstory to it. If you guys will continue to watch, I will continue to share. All I'm going to ask you guys to do is subscribe, like, and share for more Scoop Malaire. Thank you, Frye. Love my jacket.